Have you ever walked away from a hard conversation and realized you just became someone you don't respect anymore? You were calm 5 minutes ago, but under pressure, a pattern took over that wasn't actually you. Why? Hi, I'm Tev. I help people interrupt the patterns that run them under pressure so they can choose differently when it matters the most. Today, I'll show you what's running you and, more importantly, why your children might already be practicing the patterns you haven't named yet. Every argument you've had, it was never about what it looked like. Not once. There were different words, but the same emotions, same results, same patterns. A while ago, my big sister held up a mirror, showed me what I did not want to see. One sentence, accurate, true, and clear. And instantly, something moved in me. My chest tightened, my jaw set, and my breathing changed. My mind started building a case. I defended myself before I understood what was happening inside me. And afterwards, I sat with one heavy thought. That wasn't who I want to be. That moment changed something because I realized I thought I had a communication problem. What I actually had was a pattern running faster than choice. Most of what runs under pressure was learned long before you had language for it. Your system has 7 main ways of trying to keep you safe. But what kept you safe at 10 years old is often what's sabotaging your relationships at 40. Fear, anger, shame, sadness, joy, love, and surprise. If you can name what is running, you can finally begin to choose. If you cannot, it keeps choosing for you. The gap between who you intend to be and who shows up under pressure is not character, it's pattern. Most people think fear is panic. It isn't. Fear is often quiet, controlled, reasonable, competent. Fear wearing the clothes of a reasonable person. Fear tightens the chest, shortens the breath, pulls attention forward into a future that have not happened yet. The mind is never in the present when fear is running. It is always projecting forward. I remember sitting across from a business partner, same room, same table, the same person. I respected him, and they made a fair request. Looking back, it was reasonable. But I didn't hear fairness. I heard threat, loss, risk, and failure. And from that moment, my attention left the room. My body stayed, but my attention left. I was already living a feared future that had not happened yet. We call it standards or strategy, being realistic, being prepared. But underneath, something in you does not feel safe. Fear asks, what could go wrong? And over time, fear becomes control, distance, or perfectionism, people pleasing, withdrawal, or even overthinking. The body responds before the thought arrives. When fear is named, it stops driving from the shadows. What remains is clarity, care, and grounded protection. Let's see anger. Anger is rarely first. That's important. Most anger was hurt first, scared, shamed first. Then anger arrived to protect what felt threatened. The jaw tightens, heat rises, your voice sharpens, your body leans forward. Maybe it was just a question, but your system heard a challenge. And suddenly your tone carries more force than truth. You are no longer relating, connecting with the person in front of you. You are defending territory. Anger says, push back, regain control, make sure this does not happen again. Left unnamed, anger becomes harshness, criticism, domination, resentment, emotional intimidation. When anger is understood, force becomes clarity, heat becomes boundary, reaction becomes deliberate action. The next one runs deep. Shame. Quietly, powerfully, shame does not say, I did something wrong. Shame says, something is wrong with me. That moment with my sister, this was what was running. Not disagreement and not truth, but shame. The mirror hurt because it touched identity. And my sister moved instantly, explaining, defending, protecting. The defense was the pattern revealing itself. Shame intensifies in isolation. Silence feeds it. Hiding strengthens it. But when named, shame becomes honesty. And honesty creates freedom. Whether it's shame, fear, or anger, the mechanism is the same. The body reacts before the mind can choose. But look at what happens when the pattern is quieter, like with sadness. Some people are not angry, they're just carrying sadness, quiet grief, disappointment, loss that never got acknowledged, needs that were never met, visions of life that never happened. The body gets heavy, breath slows down, energy fades, and joy becomes hard to access. You keep functioning, but something in you quietly leaves. You still go to work, still answer messages, still show up, but deep down, you haven't felt fully alive in years. Sadness asks, will what mattered ever return? When ignored, it becomes numbness, collapse, withdrawal, and quiet resignation. But when honored, sadness can become gratitude, depth, and softness. Joy. Joy sounds easy, but it isn't. Joy opens you, makes you visible, soft, present, receiving. And for many people, Being deeply well feels unfamiliar enough to feel dangerous. Someone loves you well, and instead of softening, you brace. If goodness was inconsistent, if celebration was rare, if joy was followed by loss, the system learns: don't fully open, don't trust good things, don't relax. So joy gets minimalized, distrusted, and sabotaged. But when welcomed, joy becomes presence, aliveness, and the core of sustainable connection. Love may be the deepest one. Some people can survive pain, but cannot receive love without bracing. A compliment lands and they deflect. Someone moves closer and they tighten. Support comes and they become uncomfortable. Someone really sees you, not what you do, you. And instead of resting, part of you quietly steps back. Why? Because when love was conditional, unpredictable, or tied to performance, love became something to manage, not something safe to give or receive. But real love is simple. Love is attention that stayed, safe closeness without performance. When consciously practiced, love becomes a sanctuary. Surprise is disruption. Life did not go how your system expected. Trust broke, loss came quickly, control disappeared, and the nervous system learned: stay ready, stay alert, expect impact. One betrayal, and now your nervous system prepares for loss, even in safe places. So, surprise becomes vigilance, scanning, rigidity, difficult to relax, difficult to trust life. But when safety grows, surprise becomes wonder, curiosity, openness, and creativity. The inner child becomes visible. One day I heard the tone in my child's voice, sharp, defensive, and tight. And instantly I recognized it was mine. Then, deeper, I recognized something older. I wasn't hearing my child, I was hearing inheritance. People do not inherit your values under pressure, they inherit your patterns. What gets named can be transformed. So, that is the work. Slow, honest, layer by layer. Not insight, but practice, repetition, small interruptions until a new pattern holds under pressure. Not becoming someone new, but becoming someone you respect when it matters the most. Name what is running, or it will keep choosing for you. See you in the next one.